In Minecraft we have different variations of the zombie, such as the drown, the villager zombies, and the husk, which are the only zombies that are born with the sun. Also, when they hit you, they give you the effect of hunger, but probably not know the complete story of this mob. This zombie was created in the Game Jam. A Game Jam is a meeting of developers from all over the world, and the main objective is that these developers make games between 24 to 48 hours, and the best project in this limited time ends up being the winner, and they are usually given money. An interesting thing is that developer Yap revealed important information a while ago on Minecraft page, and he said the following, that many of the Minecraft ideas come out of game jams, such as the husk. Jeb saw it in a game jam, and he liked the idea of adding it, especially because Jeb found it interesting to add variations of the zombie. And it wasn't only the husk, the stray also come from the game jam. But here the mystery begins. Researching in the Discord of Minecraft, you can find a message from one of the Mojang admins, and it says, "We also just had our game jam, and many of us work on futures that, well, cool, might not actually happen." And so I thought, if this zombie and this skeleton were added thanks to the game jam, how many other ideas can you see in the game jam that we don't know? How many items, blocks, and mobs were discarded from the game jam? Those programmers who have attended a game jam must know a lot of information that we don't know. Even on one occasion, the former Minecraft community manager, Helen Angel, commented that Brown Scorpion had been scaling this gaming jam, but after a while, these comments were deleted. That Scorpion was never heard from again, nor why they deleted it. What was the need to delete those comments? There is a lot of secret information during the game jam. An unsolved mystery. One of the most interesting structures are the mansions, and throughout this channel, we have already discussed how many of its rooms can indicate some interesting meanings of the looters. Today, I come to talk about the chests of these mansions. Did you know that in these versions there are many rooms with completely empty chests? And okay, it's fine if there is an empty chest, but the mystery begins when we realize there are dozens and dozens of chests with absolutely nothing. What is the point of Mojang putting so many chests if the player is not going to get anything? And the question is, what was in this chest? Possibly the looters took everything to hide it, because something that you possibly didn't know is that on some mansion roofs there are secret passageways, totally strange places where there are hidden chests. Yes, there are things in the chest before, such as diamonds, even enchant apples, and Mojang hasn't answered any of this at all, and we don't know what was in these chests, which now are empty. So now only in our imagination remains an unsolved mystery. Before Notch created Minecraft, Notch had worked on a game called Ruby Dunk, which was one of Notch's first attempts to make a pixelated construction game. These are some images of Ruby Dunk. The most interesting thing is that in this game, you could see the first textures of the grass and the stone of the first version of Minecraft. When people on the internet found out about Ruby Dunk, many players began to ask where they could download Ruby Dunk. Well, unfortunately, this game is lost media. No player on planet Earth has this game right now, and according to what is said, Notch doesn't have any copy of Ruby Dunk either. The idea of this game was to be able to build in that pixelated world. The thing is that it doesn't exist, no video on YouTube showing this game. All we have are these pictures of this landscape, and nothing else. Ruby Dunk became a mystery, and absolutely no person has a copy of this game. An unsolved mystery. His name is Pop Bob. Pop Bob is a very well-known player on 2b2t. You know, the biggest, lowest Minecraft server. This player was one of the first to use hacks. He was also one of the first trollers on this server. On several occasions, he would start exploiting all these bases of the server, stealing all the items of the players. Many people were afraid of Pop Bob, although it is also known that Pop Bob was friendly with other players, specifically with the members of the Squid base. This base was one of the most greats of 2v2. Pop Bob helped build on this base, although later this incredible base was attacked by other hackers. Besides that Pop Bob was a very famous person within the server, he was also an excellent programmer and helped with the creation of plugins for the player House Master, one of the most important administrators of the 2v2 server. The administrator had earned the trust of Pop Bob. However, on one occasion, Pop-Up sent him a computer virus to the 2v2 administrator. In this way, Pop-Up obtained permissions to be able to use any item of the Too Many Items mod. No one had ever obtained administrator permissions on the server. This administrator permission also allowed him to teleport to where he wanted in the world, and having teleportation permissions, many server bases began to fall into the hands of Pop-Up because he knew where they were located. Obviously, the administrator stopped trusting Pop-Up, and sometime later, the administrator managed to remove Pop-Up's permissions. After that event, Pop-Up was still on the server. He kept trolling and hacking, even stealing information from other users. But after one day, Pop-Up just disappeared. And nowadays, it's all a mystery who Pop-Up really was and where he is. Besides, Pop-Up's account now has a skin of a girl. It isn't known if right now the access to that account is really from Pop-Up, or if someone else currently controls the account. It just disappeared into the shadows. An unsolved mystery. In old versions of Minecraft, Mojang had added something very strange, a button called Super Secret Setting, and every time you click on this button, your whole Minecraft screen will change, and it will also play various very strange sounds. Textures will be placed on you, and different shaders. There were too many types, however, Mojang never said what these options were for. What was the purpose of doing this? They never gave clarifications, and you could get some pretty scary ones. None of this makes sense, and it was in version 1.9 that they eliminated all this. Although currently, if we are in a spectator mode in Java Edition, we can obtain these shaders when entering various mobs. It works with creepers, spiders, endermans, but what were all the shaders for? This is all a mystery so far, but tell me below in the comments what your theory is. An unsolved mystery. In the year 2020, the Minecraft Festival was going to be held, which was an in-person convention where there would surely be many different activities. But in 2020, the pandemic came, causing the Minecraft Festival to be cancelled and postponed for another time. The thing is that there are many mysterious ones here. The first and most obvious is when this festival is going to take place. So far, Mojang hasn't said anything about it, and one of the most interesting things is that in this festival they were going to give capes to all those people who attended in person. But what was the design of this layer like? The design of one is always interesting to know, and absolutely no one knows. The design of this cape remains a great mystery so far, and we can only know what this cape will be like if Mojang decides to resume the festival at some point. An unsolved mystery. When they first announced the Warden, it was too different from what we have today. Initially, the Warden was going to spawn in a cave with a few skull blocks, and the only structure I was going to see was this little room with a few skull blocks, chests and barrels, and in the end they changed the room for a gigantic city. And this will very surely also happen with archaeology. All that archaeology that Mojang had programmed to show at Minecon, it will really no longer be the same. The idea could be seen very advanced. There were even small pieces that showed some of the Minecraft mobs that indicates that in some way they already had a log written from this archaeology. But what will happen in future updates is that Mojang will improve the entire system of archaeology. Developer Ulrava has said it. He wants to make archaeology amazing, but he's also going to change it to improve it. This means that absolutely all the original idea of archaeology that they already had, it will remain a great mystery and we'll never know how it will really work. Yes, it will surely be almost the same, but it will happen exactly the same as what happened with the Warden. We will never ever know what those houses that had shown. An unsolved mystery. In Minecraft, we have got many updates, that of the villagers, the beasts of the nether of the caves. Nowadays, anyone can download these updates and play in the version that we want. But when Notch programmed Minecraft, Notch released many versions of tests, and many of the versions of Minecraft are totally lost. Many times, these versions were deleted, and only very few players managed to download them. The list of versions that have not been found is gigantic. Many of these are lost forever, and we can ask very crazy questions. For example, is it that in one of these lost versions there is a blocker item that Notch had implemented and that we don't know about? The probability is very low, because people take great care of documenting absolutely all important changes. But since there are too many versions that have not been found, there is a possibility that in one of those versions there is at least something important that we never knew about. An unsolved mystery. Minecraft servers have existed for a long time to play with a lot of friends, but something that isn't known is what was really the first server of all Minecraft, because Minecraft Online is the oldest server that still exists. I did a little tour on this server in my secondary Spanish channel, but it really hasn't been recorded which was the first server. Which player besides the developers will have been the first to click on create Minecraft server, because apparently we will never know. And I have another one question for you. Who was the first player to buy Minecraft? Who will be the first recorded player in history besides obviously Notch? Maybe I can get some answers, but that's the subject of another video. An unsolved mystery. And finally, we will talk about one of the biggest mysteries that the Mojang developers planned a few years ago. It is the Snapshot Infinity, a version that was added on April Fool's Day, where we could visit thousands and thousands of different dimensions. It turns out that in this snapshot, the developers hid secret codes, complicated programming puzzles, which people began to discover, so much so that all these codes lead you to a specific audio. And this audio contained a spectrogram with some hidden messages in it, Morse code. Even Mojang had hidden images within an audio, which contained secret words. After a while, the community did find several resolved messages, but the reality is that to this day, it isn't known if this hidden code hides more secret messages. But the story is too long. Here is the last unsolved mystery episode of this series. I also leave you a video suggested by the YouTube algorithm. Remember that you can already order my book here below in the description.